Elements.cloud is a professional standard solution for mapping and collaborating around business processes. So in this screen, you can see that we have created an example map of a model company. And here you have all the operational processes and the supporting processes of this imaginary company. What you also see are these attachment clips, so paper clips, where you can click and you can see that we've attached some documentation, like it can be documents or references to ISO standards or other compliance rules. So you can also see that we have if I can go down here, I can drill down for a deeper level. So it's a layer-based process map. And you can see that I have the input and the activity, who's responsible, and then the next output here, which becomes the input to the next activity. And the way you create these maps is pretty easy because it's all drag and drop. And I have some guidelines here where I can see where I should put stuff so that it's all in line. So I have all these helpful on-canvas guidance. And if I want an attachment, I just go over here, add attachment, and I can select like any old link, but we have a library of published documents from M-Files. So here I can pick, if I want maybe a specific guideline, I can search like this. And here's the one I need, and I'll just attach it. Now what we've done is we've integrated this with M-Files. So for these documents, for example, if I'm an author and of this process documentation, usually you want to have some kind of workflow where you create a new document and then you want to have it approved before you publish it. So that's what we're showing here. And here we have an approved one. Maybe this is okay. Then I'll just publish it, and it'll show up in this URL library where you can pick approved publication. So that's one thing what we've added using M-Files, control documents. We've also added the processes themselves as objects into M-Files. So here you can see the exact same process, and I can navigate it and go down to the same screen we were showing earlier. And I can, so look here, I can check out these different things in M-Files. I can also have some added usability, such as I can view attachments as videos in the right pane. So there's several uses of just this process diagram integration. I also have some user guides or that we've created like this, and we have some how to get started, and we have some videos embedded also like this. And these are all things you can check out in the demo, which you can get a link to. We also have this example of how you can create these landing pages. These objects can also be used exactly as any other M-Files object, where you can add some metadata and relationships to other objects. So I'll show you some examples of that. If I go into these ISO statements, I can get these from Elements, where it's really easy to manage these in a controlled way, and then it'll show up in M-Files. I can have this as I can create a relationships between these and the process diagrams. So here you have an example of that, where we have audits. So for instance, if I'm supposed to be auditing a specific set of quality management content or the system itself, I can create it as a campaign and then an audit event. And I can invite a person and I can store all the information about it, how it went and all of that in mFiles. And here I can also see, okay, which process diagram are we looking at? Of course, this also makes it really easy when you have an external audit to say, okay, how do you know your people are following the processes? Then you can just show them this view in mFiles, and you can show them how that, of course, everyone in your company, of course, always follows every guideline and process to the letter. So you'll only have green OKs like this. So that's one example of how you can use these relationships and these advanced mapping abilities of elements together with mFiles.